Imagine being told that the thing you've been relying on every day to stay healthy after 60 might not be enough. Walking feels safe, familiar, and comforting. It clears the mind, gets you out of the house, and keeps the heart moving. But here's what really happens as the years pass. Walking alone doesn't stop the quiet loss of muscle. It doesn't train your balance reactions, and it doesn't strengthen the deep muscles that protect you from falls, pain, and loss of independence. That's why so many older adults who walk every day still feel weaker, slower, and less stable over time. The good news is that your body doesn't need more walking. It needs the right kind of movement. And there are 6 simple exercises you can do at home that do far more than walking ever could. After 50, the body naturally begins losing muscle mass and power, especially in the legs, hips, and core. This process, often called sarcopenia, isn't caused by age itself, but by a lack of the right stimulus. Walking works the same muscles in the same shallow way every time. It's repetitive and predictable. The body adapts, then stops improving. What it doesn't do is challenge strength, stability, or coordination. That's why you may notice shorter steps, slower pace, and hesitation when changing direction. These aren't signs that you're getting old. They're signs that your muscles aren't being asked to do their real job anymore. The first movement that changes everything is the sit to stand squat. Imagine using a chair at home, sitting down with control, then standing up without using your hands. This simple action wakes up the largest muscles in your body, the glutes and quadriceps. These muscles are responsible for standing, climbing stairs, getting out of the car, and catching yourself if you stumble. When they weaken, independence begins to fade. Practicing this movement daily rebuilds strength exactly where you need it most. You'll notice standing feels easier, knees feel more supported, and your confidence rises every time you get up without hesitation. The second exercise brings strength back to the hips and lower back through the glute bridge. Lying on your back with knees bent and feet on the floor, lifting the hips gently off the ground activates the muscles that stabilize the pelvis and protect the spine. These muscles often shut down after years of sitting. When they're weak, the lower back works too hard, creating stiffness and pain. This movement teaches the hips to carry their share of the load again. Over time, walking feels smoother, posture improves, and the back feels supported instead of strained. The third exercise restores balance and confidence by training the side hips with lateral leg raises. Standing beside a chair or wall, gently lifting one leg out to the side activates the muscles that keep the pelvis level when you walk. These muscles are essential for side stability, yet walking barely uses them. Weakness here is one of the main reasons people feel unsteady or fall sideways. Strengthening them helps your body react quickly when balance is challenged. You'll notice steadier steps and more control when turning or stepping on uneven surfaces. The fourth movement wakes up your balance reflexes through calf and ankle activation. Standing tall and lifting the heels slightly, then lowering with control strengthens the muscles that stabilize the ankles and improve circulation in the legs. These muscles are your first line of defense when you trip or shift your weight. Walking doesn't challenge them enough to keep them strong. Training them directly sharpens your body's ability to respond quickly, reducing swelling, improving balance, and making every step feel more secure. The fifth exercise reconnects the brain and body through marching in place. Lifting one knee at a time while standing trains coordination, core stability, and gait mechanics. Many older adults begin dragging their feet without realizing it. This movement retrains the pattern of lifting the leg properly, reducing the risk of catching a toe and falling. It also gently raises the heart rate without impact, improving endurance while reinforcing balance and posture at the same time. The sixth and often overlooked exercise strengthens the core with a simple isometric hold. Standing tall or lying on your back, gently tightening the abdominal muscles without moving teaches the core to support the spine. A strong core keeps the body upright, improves balance, and reduces strain on the lower back. Walking does very little for these deep stabilizing muscles, yet they play a crucial role in every movement you make. When these 6 exercises are practiced together, something powerful happens. The body begins working as a system again. Strength returns to the legs. Stability returns to the hips and ankles. Balance reactions become quicker. Movement feels lighter and more controlled. Walking becomes easier not because you're walking more, but because your body is finally strong enough to support it. You don't need to stop walking completely. But if walking is all you're doing, your body is missing the movements that protect you most. Just a few minutes a day spent on these exercises can make the difference between moving with confidence and moving with caution. Start where you are. Move slowly. Listen to your body, because aging doesn't have to mean getting weaker. When you give your body the right kind of movement, it responds with strength, balance, and freedom that walking alone can never provide. Imagine doing something every single day because you believe it's protecting your health, only to slowly notice that your body still feels weaker, slower, and less stable than it used to. For many older adults, walking becomes that daily habit. It feels safe, familiar, and responsible. It gets you moving, clears your head, and gives a sense of accomplishment. And while walking absolutely benefits the heart and the mind, it quietly falls short in the areas that matter most for staying independent as you age. That's not because walking is bad, but because it simply doesn't ask enough from the muscles and systems that keep you strong and balanced. As the body ages, the most important changes don't happen on the surface. They happen deep inside the muscles and nervous system. After about age 50, the body naturally begins to lose muscle mass and power, especially in the legs, hips, and core. This process is gradual and often goes unnoticed at first. Walking uses these muscles, but only at a very low intensity and in a repetitive pattern. The body quickly adapts, and once it does, walking no longer provides enough stimulus to maintain strength. The muscles learn that they don't need to work very hard, so over time they begin to shrink and weaken. This is why someone can walk every day and still struggle to get out of a chair, climb stairs, or catch themselves when they stumble. Another critical issue is balance. Walking forward on a flat surface doesn't challenge your balance in a meaningful way. It doesn't train side to side stability, quick weight shifts, or the reflexes needed when something unexpected happens. Most falls don't occur while walking straight ahead. They happen when turning, stepping sideways, reaching, or reacting to a sudden loss of balance. Walking simply doesn't prepare the body for these situations. As a result, even people who walk daily can feel unsteady, cautious, or fearful of falling. That fear often leads to shorter steps, slower movement, and even less muscle activation, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Walking also does very little to maintain muscle power, which is the ability to generate force quickly. This type of strength is essential for preventing falls. When you trip, you don't have time to think or slowly adjust. Your body needs to react instantly. Power comes from fast twitch muscle fibers, and these fibers decline rapidly with age if they're not trained. Walking almost never activates them. Over time, the body loses its ability to respond quickly, and balance recovery becomes slower and less effective. This is one of the main reasons falls become more common despite regular walking. Posture is another area where walking alone falls short. Many people walk with a slight forward lean, rounded shoulders, and limited arm swing. Over time, this reinforces poor posture rather than correcting it. Weak glutes, weak core muscles, and tight hips often go unaddressed, placing more strain on the lower back and knees. Walking doesn't teach the body how to stand tall, stabilize the pelvis, or support the spine. Instead, it often reinforces existing imbalances, especially if the muscles responsible for posture are already weak. There's also the issue of muscle balance. Walking mainly uses the same muscles in the same way over and over. It doesn't strengthen the side hips, the deep core, or the stabilizers around the ankles and knees. These muscles are essential for joint protection and coordinated movement. When they weaken, other muscles compensate, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and inefficient movement. This is why some people feel sore or tired after walking even short distances. The body is working harder than it should because it lacks proper support. Perhaps the most important thing to understand is that walking alone doesn't teach the body how to move with control. It doesn't train you to rise from a chair, step over obstacles, change direction smoothly, or stabilize yourself on uneven ground. These are the movements that define independence. When they aren't practiced, they gradually become harder, even if walking remains part of the routine. The body becomes good at walking slowly and carefully, but less capable of handling real life demands. None of this means walking should be avoided. It means walking should not be the only form of movement you rely on. When walking is combined with exercises that build strength, balance, coordination, and power, it becomes much more effective. But on its own, it leaves critical gaps in your physical ability. Understanding this isn't about fear or discouragement. It's about clarity. Once you realize why walking isn't enough, you can begin giving your body what it truly needs to stay strong, stable, and confident as the years go by. The sit to stand squat is one of the most important movements your body will ever perform, especially as you get older. Yet it's also one of the first abilities people quietly lose. Every time you rise from a chair, stand up from the toilet, get out of the car, or lift yourself from a low surface, you're relying on this exact pattern. When it becomes difficult, daily life subtly changes. You start using your hands to push off. You hesitate before standing. You choose higher seats. You feel that moment of uncertainty where you wonder if your legs will fully support you. That moment matters because it signals that the muscles responsible for independence are no longer doing their job effectively. The sit to stand squat directly targets the glutes and quadriceps, the largest and most powerful muscles in the lower body. These muscles are designed to lift your body weight, stabilize your joints, and absorb force. Walking barely challenges them. It keeps them active at a very low level, but it doesn't teach them to produce strength. Over time, these muscles lose mass and power, and the body begins compensating in ways that increase strain on the knees and lower back. Practicing controlled sit to stand movements reverses this process by reminding your muscles what they're meant to do. When you sit down slowly and stand up with control, you're training far more than just strength. You're training coordination, balance, and joint alignment. Your feet press into the floor. Your hips hinge naturally. Your core engages to support your spine. Your knees learn to track properly instead of collapsing inward. This coordinated effort is what protects your joints and keeps movement efficient. Over time, standing up becomes smoother and less tiring. You stop feeling that heavy sensation in your legs. You stop bracing yourself mentally before standing. One of the biggest changes people notice is how much safer they feel. When the legs are strong, balance improves automatically. You're less likely to wobble when standing up. You're more stable when reaching or turning. You trust your legs to support you, and that trust changes how you move. You stop rushing. You stop avoiding certain movements. You move with intention instead of caution. That shift alone reduces the risk of falls more than walking ever could. Another important benefit is how the sit to stand squat supports knee health. Many people believe squatting is bad for older knees, but the opposite is true when it's done correctly and gradually. Strong quadriceps act like shock absorbers for the knee joint. They control movement and reduce stress on the cartilage and ligaments. When these muscles are weak, the knees take more impact with every step. By strengthening them through sit to stand practice, the knees feel more supported, less unstable, and often less painful over time. This movement also improves circulation in the legs. Activating large muscle groups helps pump blood back toward the heart, reducing stiffness and heaviness, especially after sitting. That's why many people feel warmer and more energized after practicing a few controlled repetitions. It's not just exercise, it's restoring function the body relies on every day. Perhaps the most powerful change is psychological. When you can stand up without effort or fear, your confidence grows. You stop feeling limited by your body. You regain a sense of control. That confidence spills into everything else you do, from walking outside to social activities to daily chores. The sit to stand squat isn't about fitness. It's about preserving the freedom to live on your own terms. The glute bridge is one of the most effective ways to restore stability to the hips and protect the lower back, especially for people who have spent years sitting more than they realize. When the glutes weaken, the pelvis becomes unstable. The lower back muscles take on extra work they were never designed to handle alone. Over time, this leads to stiffness, discomfort, and a feeling that your back is always tight or tired. Walking does very little to correct this imbalance. The glute bridge directly addresses it by reactivating the muscles that should be supporting you every time you stand, walk, or change position. Lying on your back with knees bent and lifting the hips may look simple, but it awakens a system that aging and inactivity quietly shut down. The glutes are the largest muscles in the body, and they play a central role in stabilizing the pelvis and controlling movement. When they're weak, the hips drift forward, posture suffers, and the spine absorbs unnecessary strain. The glute bridge teaches the hips to extend again, shifting the workload away from the lower back and into the muscles designed for it. One of the first things people notice after practicing glute bridges is reduced tension in the lower back. This happens because the pelvis becomes more stable. The spine no longer needs to brace constantly to keep you upright. Instead of feeling compressed, the lower back feels supported. Over time, posture improves naturally. Standing becomes easier. Walking feels smoother. You stop feeling like your back is doing all the work. Balance improves as well, even though the exercise is performed lying down. Strong glutes stabilize the hips during walking, which keeps the upper body from swaying excessively. This stability reduces the small balance errors that often lead to falls. Walking becomes more efficient, with each step feeling more controlled and purposeful. You're not just moving forward, you're moving with structure and support. The glute bridge also strengthens the deep core muscles without stressing the spine. As the hips lift, the abdominal muscles engage to prevent excessive arching. This type of core activation is gentle but powerful. It builds endurance and stability rather than tension. Many people who struggle with traditional core exercises find that this approach feels safer and more effective. The result is a stronger center that supports every movement you make. Another important benefit is improved hip mobility. Sitting for long periods tightens the front of the hips and weakens the back. The glute bridge gently opens the front of the body while strengthening the back, restoring balance around the hip joint. This makes walking, climbing stairs, and standing up feel less restricted. Movement becomes more fluid instead of stiff or guarded. There's also a noticeable change in how the legs work together. When the glutes are active, the thighs and calves no longer have to compensate. The entire lower body functions as a unit. This reduces fatigue and makes movement feel lighter. Many people are surprised to find that their walking improves even though they haven't been walking more. It improves because the muscles responsible for propulsion and stability are finally contributing again. The glute bridge isn't about intensity. It's about reactivating a foundation that walking alone can't rebuild. By strengthening the hips and protecting the lower back, it restores the support system your body depends on for safe, confident movement throughout the day. Lateral leg raises may look small and almost insignificant, but they train one of the most critical systems for staying upright and preventing falls as you age. This movement targets the muscles on the side of the hips, especially the gluteus medius, a deep stabilizing muscle that works quietly every time you take a step. When this muscle is strong, your pelvis stays level, your steps feel controlled, and your balance reactions are fast. When it weakens, the body starts swaying from side to side, steps become uncertain, and balance feels fragile. Walking forward barely activates this muscle, which is why many people who walk daily still feel unsteady, especially when turning, stepping sideways, or navigating uneven ground. Each time you stand on one leg, even for a split second while walking, the side hip must engage to prevent the pelvis from dropping. If it doesn't, the body compensates by leaning the torso or shifting weight awkwardly. Over time, these compensations strain the lower back, overload the knees, and make walking less efficient. Lateral leg raises retrain the body to stabilize from the hips instead of relying on poor compensations. Standing beside a chair or wall and lifting the leg gently to the side teaches the brain and muscles how to work together again. You're not just strengthening a muscle, you're rebuilding a balanced system. One of the first changes people notice is improved control when standing still. Simple tasks like brushing your teeth, washing dishes, or waiting in line feel steadier. That's because balance isn't only tested when you're moving. It's tested whenever you shift your weight. Strong side hips allow those shifts to happen smoothly without panic or stiffness. Over time, this sense of control reduces the unconscious tension many older adults carry in their legs and shoulders when they're worried about falling. Another powerful benefit of lateral leg raises is their effect on knee alignment. Weak side hips often cause the knees to collapse inward, especially during walking or standing up from a chair. This places stress on the knee joint and can lead to pain or discomfort. Strengthening the gluteus medius helps keep the knees tracking properly, reducing joint strain and improving movement efficiency. Many people are surprised to notice that knee discomfort decreases after consistently practicing this exercise, even though the knee itself isn't moving much. Balance reactions also become quicker and more reliable. Most falls happen sideways, not straight forward. Walking doesn't prepare the body for this. Lateral leg raises do. By training the muscles responsible for side to side stability, your body learns how to react when balance is challenged from an unexpected direction. This creates a sense of safety that carries into daily life. You begin trusting your body again, which leads to more relaxed, confident movement instead of cautious, stiff steps. There's also an important mental shift that happens. When balance improves, fear decreases. Fear changes how people move. It makes steps smaller, posture guarded, and movements hesitant. Strengthening the side hips breaks this cycle. As stability improves, fear fades. You stop bracing yourself before moving. You stop avoiding certain situations. You move more naturally, and that natural movement further improves balance. Lateral leg raises don't require speed, force, or range. They require control. That makes them safe, accessible, and effective at any age. Even small, controlled lifts build strength and coordination. Over time, these small efforts add up to noticeable changes in how secure and capable you feel during everyday activities. Calf and ankle activation plays a role in balance and mobility that most people never think about until it's compromised. The muscles around the ankles act as the body's first responders. When you trip, step on an uneven surface, or shift your weight suddenly, the ankles must react instantly to keep you upright. Walking doesn't challenge these muscles enough to keep them strong, especially on flat, predictable surfaces. As a result, ankle strength and responsiveness decline and balance reactions become slower. Training these muscles directly restores a level of control that walking alone can't provide. Standing tall and lifting the heels, then lowering them slowly, activates the calves and the small stabilizing muscles around the ankle joint. These muscles help control forward and backward sway and maintain alignment from the ground up. When they're weak, the body compensates by stiffening the knees or hips, which actually increases the risk of falling. Strengthening the ankles allows the rest of the body to relax and respond naturally instead of bracing. One of the most noticeable benefits of calf and ankle activation is improved circulation. The calf muscles act like a pump, helping move blood back toward the heart. When they're inactive, swelling, heaviness, and fatigue in the lower legs become common. Activating them regularly improves blood flow, reduces swelling, and helps the legs feel lighter and more responsive throughout the day. Many people notice they feel less stiff when standing up after sitting for long periods. Balance improves because the ankles regain their ability to make small, fast corrections. These corrections often happen without conscious awareness, but they're essential for staying upright. When ankle reactions are slow or weak, even small disruptions can lead to a loss of balance. Strengthening these muscles sharpens those reflexes, giving the body more time and ability to respond when something unexpected happens. Another benefit is improved confidence during walking and standing. When the ankles feel strong and responsive, the fear of tripping decreases. Steps feel more secure. You stop watching the ground constantly. You trust your footing. That trust changes posture and movement quality, making walking feel easier and more natural. Calf and ankle activation also supports the knees and hips. Strong ankles reduce the need for larger joints to compensate, which helps protect them from strain. This creates a chain reaction of improved alignment and efficiency throughout the lower body. Walking becomes smoother, not because you're walking more, but because each step is better supported. These exercises don't take much time, but their impact is significant. By restoring ankle strength, balance reactions, and circulation, they address one of the most overlooked contributors to falls and instability. Combined with strength in the hips and legs, they complete the foundation your body needs to move confidently and safely at home and beyond.